So you mean to tell me that the Hornets give up 127 points against the lowly Pistons? And yes, LaMelo shot his worst game of the season, probably in his career, shooting 6 for 24. But one thing remains the same. This team, again, are who we thought they were. They're a mediocre team that may surprise you with some good games here and there, but they'll lose a game that they shouldn't lose to. They are who we thought they were, and I'm going to chime in. What's good, everyone? This is RawTruth Media giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. And the Hornets are who we thought they were. Last night, they allowed Kelly Olynyk to shoot the game-winning jump shot to propel the Pistons over the Hornets 127-126 in overtime. Now, looking on social media, I want to give credit to LaMelo fans. LaMelo fans, believe it or not, they're objective. Yes, they root for their favorite player, and they want him to do well. But when he has a bad game, shooting-wise, when he's missing wide-open layups, they're upfront about it. They're not sugarcoating. They're not saying, well, LaMelo missed these layups because of this or that. They pointed out that he should never miss those type of layups. He should never miss those type of shots. Even in the go-ahead shot, when he stole the ball and he had 3 seconds left to score. What he should have done is attack the basket. He could have done a floater or so forth because he had 3 seconds left. And for those who are listening, you know what I'm talking about. He elected to do a fadeaway jumper, and it threw off his shot. And when he's going to look at film, he's going to notice that, man, I should have just attacked the rim. But when it comes to missing shots and not being in rhythm, that all comes down to how you're being played. And at RawTruth Media, we've been consistent in saying that LaMelo is not even used as a all-star player on the team. He's treated like just one of the guys. And that could throw your whole game off. Now, it's not an excuse. He should never miss wide-open layups. You heard it first. But I do believe in rhythm. And like the thumbnail says, both things can be true. It all could be true. Yes, LaMelo shot terribly last night, but James Borrego and his adjustments were horrible. When you give up 127 points to a team that just won their 15th game of the season, they have 46 losses in the Detroit Pistons. It's pathetic. And you can defend JB all you want, but this is not winning basketball. The Charlotte Hornets are so comfortable at being mediocre that the media is right now in Charlotte is trying to make a spin on this. I know they're like this. I know they lost a bad game, but hey, they're 30-32. They can make a run. Really? Are they going to have a 10-game winning streak? No. And tonight they got a matchup against the Bucks. And you know the Bucks are going to be ready to play. And they got to deal with Giannis and company. But last night was an embarrassing game. Cody Martin came back, and guess how many minutes he got? And he just came back from an injury. 33 minutes. He played the most minutes out of any backups. He played more minutes than Montrezl Harrell. He played more minutes, Cody Martin that is, than Kelly Oubre. If this is not a teacher's pet, I don't know what to tell you. So Cody Martin, and I gave him props in the first half of the season when he was playing well, but now he's been on a slide lately and his defense has not been effective like it once was. Saddiq Bey ate him alive. He had 28 points. And Grant did a number on him as well with 26 points. Even though the Detroit Pistons have a horrible record, let's not sugarcoat it. I see what they're trying to build. Cade Cunningham with Saddiq Bey and Grant. That's a good nucleus right there. You can build upon that. The problem with the Detroit Pistons, they're so young. They don't have that many, what you call, veteran presence in the locker room. Will LaMelo Ball have one of these horrendous shooting games? No. But we all have to address this as LaMelo fans. Let's be upfront about this. This game showed you what LaMelo needs to work on. He needs strength. We all know that the officials are not going to give LaMelo any calls. So LaMelo in his mind should expect physical play. But it's really sad because as a head coach, you would think JB would understand to fight for his players. He never does it unless it's his favorites. I'm not making this up. You can see it on a tape. He barely yells at officials when LaMelo's getting hammered by a defensive player. Like getting hit in the head. I seen a defender pretty much clothesline LaMelo when he's in midair. In the NBA, they got to get that rectified. Because you don't want these future stars who are not getting calls to get beaten up, having them play a shorter career. So Adam Silver, if you're ever listening, I doubt you are, that needs to be addressed immediately. But still, LaMelo needs strength so he can finish up in the rim with authority. And not try to do these soft, moves around the basket. It needs some more force. And remember, I made a video months ago, I think it was last year, where I pointed out that LaMelo needed a mid-range jump shot. Now, I had people telling me that he doesn't need a mid-range jump shot because he has a floater game that's really good. And my answer to that is you need a mid-range jump shot so you can keep teams honest. Because when they figure you out, where are you going to go to? The mid-range frees your offensive potential. That's what it does. And I'm saying this right now, if LaMelo develops a mid-range jump shot, he will become a 3-level scorer, added on to the talented passing game he has already. That's why he needs it. And one more critique on LaMelo. On defense, he just got to be a little less handsy. In college, I know LaMelo never played in college, but I'm giving this example. In college, players can get away with being so handsy on a player. In the NBA, they're calling fouls automatically. So he needs to think twice before he's grabbing on a player or trying to get a steal, because they're going to call that foul. But besides that, LaMelo's 20 years old. So I'm not going to judge him as a a 5-year player, a player that's been in 10 years in the league. I'm going to be fair. And that's all I want. I want people to be objective. That's all I ask for in this situation. But the Charlotte Hornets, they better win this game. And I know it's against the Bucks, but you need that momentum. No more moral victories. Moral victories will get you sitting at home and not in the playoffs. And if the Hornets lose to the Bucks tonight, I bet you will see some folks saying, well, it's the Bucks. You can't really beat a good team like that. But wait a minute, didn't you guys say beginning of the season that this was a playoff team? That the Hornets were, should be a higher seed? You all said this, not the subs, of course, but I'm just talking about some of the JB defenders. They were saying don't fire the coach because he has the ability to take this team to the playoffs. I don't see it. I said it before the season that this was a 9th seed at best. And so far, I'm looking right. JB, he's not the type of coach that fits with this team. He's not the type of coach that fits with the team that's trying to develop a franchise point guard. You need an innovative coach, a coach who understands the players, that builds their team around the players. Why in the hell was I seeing LaMelo standing in the damn corner last night? Got the best handles on the team. One of your most creative playmakers. And you got everybody else touching the ball, trying to be a fake point guard. While your point guard, your actual point guard, is sitting in the corner. I don't want to see that. We're going to switch gears to the Chicago Bulls. As you know, they're number 2 right now in the East. They were number 1. But there's an interesting stat. Do you all know that the Chicago Bulls are 2-12 against teams who will have a 600 and above record? That's very alarming, especially if you get to the playoffs. And what you all realizing now, that they need Lonzo. No matter what you say about Lonzo, how he missed layups at times and inconsistent on scoring, we all get it. But what he provides on the defensive side is so important to that team. Look at the latest box scores. The Bulls have been giving up a lot of points. The reason why they've stayed afloat and are at the number 2 spot, let's keep it real now, the schedule is in their favor. And at the right time, too. They don't have a difficult schedule. And shout out to the Pope. Months ago, he pointed that out on his show that the Chicago Bulls schedule favors them, especially early on. And with Lonzo being injured and Caruso was injured, that helped a lot. They didn't have to play so many 600 and above teams because, like I just pointed out, they're 2-12 against them. So when the schedule gets tougher, it's important to have Lonzo back with this team because he covers a lot of their weaknesses. And with DeMar DeRozan and his heroics, that's helped a lot. DeMar DeRozan has been having so many 30-point games. It's literally saving their season from being a 2 seed to being a 6 seed like that. So I can't wait to see Lonzo come back and fill a void on this team that's desperately needed so they could be on a roll. But I'm also interested to see other teams like the Brooklyn Nets. And when KD gets healthy and when Ben Simmons can actually be in the right frame of mind, to see how it will look out. Because one thing that the Nets have that other teams don't, the Nets have depth. And it's going to go in my next segment, the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, I was watching the Sixers play the Knicks. And there's one thing that's clear. The 76ers, their starting five can be anybody in the NBA, bar none. If the NBA was just all starting five and no bench play, and you ask me a team that can win it all, I'll pick the Sixers. But since the NBA is not structured like that, and you need depth, this is the main weakness of the 76ers. They have no bench play at all. You know how I know? It's because I'm looking at the efficiency with the team. And when James Harden's not on the floor, when Embiid is not on the floor, when those guys are not playing, it does not look the same at all. And Doc Rivers, I don't know why you keep playing. What's his name? I'm trying to remember his name. But there's one player that Doc Rivers always play. And I don't think he's really all that. Korkmaz. Yeah, Korkmaz. Furkan Korkmaz. That player. I don't see it from him. He played a total of 15 minutes, had 0 points, didn't really provide anything. Shake Milton is on and off. George Niang is okay, but not really doing anything. Paul Millsap, he's in the upper room territory, meaning for those who listen to my show, the upper room, it means that you're way past your prime. Like you're close to retirement age, and that's where Paul Millsap is headed towards to. And then Danny Green has been off this whole month in regards to three-point shooting. So this bench play is lethargic. Now the starting lineup, man, I love it. James Harden with Tyrese Maxey, that's a duo. And Joel Embiid, when Joel Embiid played against the Knicks last night, he had 37 points, but that was the easiest 37 points he has had in his career. They were leaving Joel Embiid wide open for three. Just because you have shooters all around the perimeter. You can't leave James Harden open. You can't leave Maxey open. And you can't leave Tobias Harris open. That's causing fits for any team that plays against the Sixers. They got to figure something out because this bench play is going to hold that team back. And I want the 76ers to go far in the East. I want to see the Brooklyn Nets versus the 76ers in the Eastern Conference Finals. If that can ever happen, I'll be very excited. I think the whole NBA wants to see that. But the starting lineup for the 76ers is top-notch, man. And I didn't even bring up Matisse Thybulle, who's one of the best defenders in the NBA. It's a balanced roster. It's just the bench play. It's just, I have a feeling that like if they play against the Bucks, a team with depth, or the Miami Heat, and the starters get exhausted, and when you need bench play, the bench play won't show up. I have no faith in the Sixers bench. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't see it from their bench. But yeah, the starting five for the 76ers is championship worthy. So James Harden, there's going to be a lot of pressure on you, brother. Are you going to raise up to the challenge? We'll see. But this is RawTruth Media giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. Me and Coach Joe will be going live for today's game against the Milwaukee Bucks. Tune in, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Peace and blessings, peace and love to everybody, and I'm out.